Imagine waking up half frozen, bloodied, and knowing you brought this on yourself. That's exactly what happens when Cole Matthews meets the Spirit Bear in Ben Mikaelsen's Touching Spirit Bear. But the real shock? That encounter is only the beginning of a journey that flips punishment into healing. Keep watching to learn the surprising restorative justice method that saved Cole's life and could change yours or someone you care about. Before we dive in, I want to thank everyone who's been suggesting these amazing new reads to me. I only discovered this book last year when a resident from the Juvenile facility where I led a book discussion group recommended it. Looking back, I wish I'd had this read during my own time in youth facilities. I believe its message could have helped me channel my anger into something positive before I spiraled so far down. In the book, we meet Cole Matthews, a 15-year-old whose anger has led him into big trouble. He's beaten another boy, Peter, nearly to death. Now he's in court expecting years in prison, but the judge offers something different. Circle Justice, a Native American restorative justice program aimed at healing for the offender, the victim, and the community. Cole reluctantly agrees to this alternative. He will spend a year exiled on a remote Alaskan island under the watch of a parole officer named Garvey and an elder named Edwin. From the start, Cole is furious. He blames everyone but himself. His alcoholic mom, his abusive father, even the boy he hurt. To him, the island exile feels like an easy way out of jail. But things change when he's alone in the wilderness. Early on, a huge white spirit bear, a creature of local legend, appears. Cole approaches in his rage. The bear attacks, leaving him badly injured. Lying alone, half frozen and near death, Cole finally stops blaming others. He realizes only he can save himself now. When Cole is rescued, he's physically alive, but it's the spirit bear that may have saved his soul. Stripped of his strength and control, Cole starts to change from the inside out. He carves a totem pole and learns new rituals, such as long soaks in an icy pond each morning to clear his mind, dragging a heavy ancestor rock up a hill and rolling it down to release his anger. Every time he sees an animal, a wolf, a beaver, an eagle, he dances and tries to learn its lesson. Though hard, these rituals help him let go of his anger and find a new respect for life. One of the most powerful parts of the story is how Cole's change brings healing to others. At home, the boy he hurt, Peter, is in deep pain. Peter is depressed and even attempts to take his own life. Cole suggests bringing Peter to the island, thinking Peter needs to see change to heal too. Once Peter arrives, tensions are high. Peter is terrified and even punches Cole a few times. But Cole remains patient and kind. He shows Peter the beauty of the island and how he's been working on himself. Bit by bit, Peter begins to see the sincerity in Cole and starts to forgive him. In the end, they carve a circle onto the totem pole, symbolizing their unity and peace. So what can we learn from Cole's journey? One big lesson is accountability. Cole spent a lot of the story blaming everyone else, but he eventually understands that no one else can do the hard work for him. He realizes he must own his actions and take responsibility for his life. That shift from blaming others to accountability is where real healing begins. In my own life, I spent years blaming people and circumstances before I learned to look in the mirror. I know it's a tough lesson for any kid to learn. Another important lesson is healing from trauma. Cole had been deeply hurt by his family and by his own choices. The spirit bear attack is terrifying and brutal, but it becomes part of his healing process. The novel doesn't shy away from this pain. It shows him suffering in the wilderness and eating whatever he can find to survive. Yet, through that suffering, Cole gains insight. Each hardship in nature, hunger, cold, loneliness, teaches him something about himself. By helping Peter heal too, Cole completes a circle of forgiveness and growth. This story also makes a powerful statement about justice and community. The circle justice sentence Cole gets is restorative. It brings community members, family, and Cole into a process together. It's justice and healing working hand in hand, not just punishment. I've seen so many kids in the juvenile justice system who get locked up and come out unchanged. Touching Spirit Bear suggests a different way. When Cole's community comes together to support his growth, everyone benefits. The victim, the offender, and the whole community all benefit. In my own life, I relate closely to Cole. I too was that kid off the boat. I was in juvenile facilities from the age of 14, and by 17, I was in prison where I spent 6 years locked up, 4 of them in solitary. I didn't go through a healing journey on a remote island, but I did encounter people, of which some became unlikely mentors, and learned ideas that challenged me to see things differently. I learned that holding on to anger only digs you deeper into a hole. Like Cole, I had to stop blaming others, take responsibility, and take action, working every day to build a better version of myself, which I still do to this day and will continue to do for the rest of my life. For anyone watching, think about this. Cole's story, my own story, and the journey of so many others are proof that transformation is possible, even for young people who've made serious mistakes. Even when you feel broken and lost, there is a way forward. You can take the pain and turn it into purpose. If you're feeling angry, stuck, or haunted by your past, maybe it's time to try something different. That might mean owning up to what you've done in a space where you feel safe, or pushing yourself to do one hard thing every day just to remind yourself that you're stronger than your worst moment. Maybe it's time to connect with a mentor, a counselor, or someone who sees more in you than you see in yourself. And what can we do to help troubled youth learn these lessons today? We can bring them into circles of support. We can teach them that justice can be healing. We can introduce accountability wrapped in understanding instead of just punishment. We have the power to step in, not to fix everything, but to show up for someone who feels forgotten. We can leave a lasting impact. We can encourage them to ask, what is their spirit bear? What challenge or trauma is trying to transform them? And how can they face it? Every troubled youth deserves a chance to rewrite their story and find purpose. Touching Spirit Bear reminds us that no one is too far gone to find healing. Even in moments of deep pain, there's a chance to begin again through accountability, connection, and courage. If this message meant something to you or reminded you of someone's journey, feel free to share in the comments. This space is for all of us who are trying to grow, learn, and walk with a little more purpose each day. If you haven't already, consider subscribing and joining this community. We're better when we lift each other up. Stay resilient, keep thriving, and remember, this moment is the best moment.